it's Dr. Cassie Smith, and welcome to Back to the Basics, a simple approach to health in the modern world. I appreciate you taking the time to join me today and hopefully learn ways that could help you improve your health. The modern world has left little time to focus on health and wellness. I hope to give you some quick and simple ways to be well and live your best life. Thank you for joining me for this next episode of Back to the Basics. I have a really special guest today. His name is Logan. So we became friends about a year ago now. I was following him on social media. I thought he had great content. I was actually on his podcast. He was gracious enough to let me be on his podcast last year when nobody knew who I was. And so he and I have became friends and kind of stayed connected. And he is a devoted husband and a proud father of two beautiful girls. His passion lies in guiding others towards their fitness aspiration through various social media platforms, including YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. He's the co-founder of BioCoach, which is a really awesome program. If you guys haven't checked it out, I've promoted it before with my patients. But his mission is to empower individuals in reversing chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes and obesity. And so he's here to talk to us about all sorts of fun stuff. So thanks for being here, Logan.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Cassie. And yes, it's funny how we met each other. And I thought the same about you. I was like, man, she's awesome. She has amazing content. And we just like, we hit it off, we clicked, and yeah, became friends ever since. So I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. So I want you to tell everybody, so you have a company called BioCoach which I have promoted a little bit. You guys, he does amazing things for patients with diabetes. So if you're my patient, you have diabetes, a lot of my patients are actually in your program, and I get good feedback about it. So I love that. I want you to tell people about that. But I think first I want you to tell people about your story, because I think that's why I was very connected with you, because you know what it's like. So you've lost over 100 pounds and you've changed your entire lifestyle and your diet, and you're very dedicated to your lifestyle. And so I love that. So will you kind of just tell people about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm about 12 years into my fitness journey. And so people that are just discovering me now probably assume like, oh man, he's always, had muscle, or he's always been in the gym, or he's always
been a stud.
Right. Yeah. Or whatever. Yeah. He's always been a bodybuilder. And guys, that couldn't be further from the truth. I didn't start until I was 26 years old. But before that, I was in horrible shape. So when I was younger in high school, I mean, like most younger kids, we could get away with it, right? I played sports. I was active. I was a boy. I didn't have to worry about any weight issues or health issues at the time, except for one thing, but we'll get to that a little bit later. So weight and being overweight didn't really affect me in my younger days. Once I got out of high school, got into college, moved out my parents' house, that's when the issues started to build up, right? Started to compound. Well, number one, not getting enough sleep, which most young 20-year-old full of testosterone's not going to get much sleep, and just want to go out and party and drink and do all the things that I don't know that young kids wanted to do. And I did that over years and years. And so by the time I was about 24, 25, I was gaining weight, right? But I didn't notice it. Like, I don't know, like it never really hit me. And then it wasn't until I was about 26 years old, I went to the doctor, and he was like, yo, what are you doing? Like, your numbers are horrible. Everything. Elevated blood pressure, cholesterol, type 2 diabetic, obese, right? Just all these issues. And so they're putting me on medication. He's like, look, if you don't make a change, like, dude, like you're not going to live for, too much longer. So that was a real wake up call. And so I remember, a couple days after that, not too long after that, I joined a gym. I got a gym membership, guys. I had never had a gym membership until I was 26 years old. There was a local gym in my area that you could like pay $2 to go to, and I went at my convenience. We all know what that means, right? Maybe once or twice a month. Okay. It wasn't until I made a commitment to go. And that commitment was, this gym made you pay for a full year. And so I don't know about you guys, but I do not like wasting money. I am very, very, very frugal. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to pay for a year, I'm going to come to this gym multiple times, more than 365 times out of the year, and get my money's worth. So I got into the gym. I had no idea how to work out, guys. I didn't know what splits were. I remember going in there. I just went from machine to machine to machine to machine to machine, and that was my workouts. And it obviously over time, over months of gaining experience and knowledge about working out, I ended up meeting a really, really influential person in my life, which his name was Clint Garza. He's was my boss at the time, but he was very much into nutrition, working out, and he took me under his wing and actually put me on the ketogenic diet before I even knew what keto was. I didn't even know I was doing keto. He just said, "Hey, follow this meal plan, and if you want to get shredded." And that was my goal at the time. Like everybody was using those terms back in 2012, where I was like all about getting shredded. So that that kicked off my fitness journey. But the biggest thing I want to tell people and always share my story is that it's never too late, right? Even today, if I'm 37, even getting started today, it's still never too late to start your fitness journey, to become healthy. And it's only more and more important today as, being a father, right? Being a father. And I always tell this to parents and people is like, look, the best gift that you can give your kids is a healthy you. The best gift that I can give my daughter is not a Nintendo DS, even though she does love that gift. My daughter, my youngest daughter, not a pair of rollerblades. A healthy father is the best gift I can give them, and that's what I'm doing, and that's what I want to promote and show other parents just like myself.
And not only that, but kids see everything that you do, right? So you're setting your kids up for a life of a healthy lifestyle, right? So if you're in the gym and you're showing your kids that nutrition matters, then that is actually, that's so beneficial to your children, right? Like I didn't grow up with parents who necessarily went to the gym. Well, they didn't go to the gym. And nutrition was like, whatever your mom put on your plate, you better eat, and fried chicken and all those things. And so the fact that you're doing that, right? You're showing your kids, because kids are like sponges, they're going to absorb everything that they see. So you're right. Like that's powerful what you're giving your kids, a healthy dad and good habits, right? Because I see your kids in the gym.
I
want to say, I see it. I
wanted
see
to
on your
say that.
posts.
And so like, we're very fortunate that our neighborhood has a community gym right down the street. And so any opportunity I have to take my girls, now I do have a real gym that I actually, go to that you can't take kids to, but anytime that I don't go to that gym or just to even do cardio, I'll go to the community gym and take my girls with me. Why? I'm not teaching them as far as like technique. I want them to get comfortable being in the gym first. That's the number one thing. I don't want them to ever be intimidated of a gym. So they're constantly going in there, and I just let them do their thing. Like I tell them to stay out of people's way. And for the most part, our gym's not too packed. We're always the only ones ever in there most of the time. So, but I want them to get on machines. Yeah. Like I'm watching them as I work out. I love watching them try to figure it out, how this machine works, right? Or they'll watch me and then they'll go try to do it. So that's my biggest thing is if you want to get your kids to maybe start going to the gym, take them with you, encourage them, be nice. Don't really try to go too hard on them, right? Like, well, you need to be doing it this way and this and that. Like, just get them comfortable. And so I let them do their thing. If they want to run on a treadmill, they run on a treadmill. They want to pick up some 5-pounders, pick it up. Let's go. So it's all about getting comfortable. And that goes for adults as well. I know, especially I'm sure you get this from a lot of women, is that they're intimidated to go into the gym, right? They're like, oh, there's these big buff bodybuilders in there. They're kind of scary. They're kind of intimidating. Trust me. They don't care. Nobody cares. Everyone's got so many problems in their life, so many issues. Nobody cares about how you look in the gym. Most importantly, just get in the gym. The only way you're going to learn is by going. Because look at me. I knew zero, squat, nothing about the gym. It's over time, going in, feeling comfortable, gaining confidence was the way that I was able to progress and obviously learn about lifting and how to lift and how to structure a workout plan.
I love that. So I love a couple of things you said. So number one, I read somewhere or heard some sort of statistic that if you look in a gym, like women versus men lifting weights, I think it's like one woman for 18 men, like actually lifting weights in a gym. I will tell you that I never really went to a gym either until I was in my 30s. So like I would exercise, right? Like I would go outside and run, or I would do these little exercises at home,
Yep.
that I saw on my phone or whatever. I played sports in high school and I played sports, but I never really exercised, like knew what it was to really pick up weights, like tried to build muscle until I was probably until 2020, until COVID. I got in a bad place in COVID and I was like, man, I'm heavy and I need to so I had never really gotten in a gym. I had been a part of Orange Theory where you do some running and different things, but like I had no idea either. So I was like going to this gym right when COVID opens back up and I'm like trying to lift stuff and trying to squat and doing all this stuff wrong, hurting myself, like, but I was just like trying to figure it out. Eventually I got smart and got a trainer. I had this amazing lady trainer. She was awesome, boss lady. And she's like, no, Cassie, like I've tried to like go along. I've gotten more tips, but so I love that you take your daughters to the gym to make them comfortable, because I will say when I started going, I was like, yeah, look at all these like super buff guys. And then the girls that are lifting are like, hosses. And so you're like, so I have these, so it's very intimidating. But to your point, when I'm at the gym, I go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. I swear to you, I don't even see anyone else that's in there. I have patients that go to my gym. I have friends that go to my gym. Like just today, my friend texted me at like 3 o'clock this afternoon. He was like, were you honestly ignoring me at the gym today? And I was like, I swear I didn't even see you. Like, no clue you're even there. Like I'm there. I have a certain amount of time. I'm doing my thing. I'm gone. And it's like, I'm not paying attention to anybody. So nobody's really paying attention to you. But I also am going to say that when I'm going to try to be a little more cognitive now that you've said that. And if there are new people, I'm going to try to be nice and like encouraging.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. If there's anything I can help you with, let me know. I'm still learning too, but because I learned, to be honest with you, there's a lot of guys that work out at my gym that are buff. And the way I learn how to use a lot of the machines or do certain exercises is I watch them. So I do my cardio every morning, like you, my fasted cardio. And I'm not lying. I'll like be gawking at one of them, like making a note of what they're doing. And I'm like, oh, that's how you can work that muscle. Oh, that, like, and then I'll go try it. So I'm still learning stuff, like just watching it.
Another thing is like, what I always hear is like one barrier for women when it comes to training, doing resistance training, is they always say, well, I don't want to get too bulky. And I'm like, listen, lady, I've been trying to get big and bulky for 12 plus years and I have not achieved it. So I can promise you that's probably not going to happen to you. And what's going to happen is you're going to look the way you want to look. You're going to build muscle. Like I'm telling you, like girls, you will look so freaking amazing with muscle. Okay. I promise you will look amazing. You will.
Yeah.
And let's not even focus on looks. Okay. Like looks is one thing. That's like the cherry on top. You will feel better. You will build up on your metabolism. Yes. The more muscle you have, the better your glucose numbers are. The more muscle you have, the more food you can eat. Do you see where I'm getting? Like just having muscle is so beneficial, other than just the way you look. There's so many benefits to it, and longevity, especially as you get older, like I'm talking 60s, 70s, 80s. Maintaining muscle really has a big impact on how you can survive and live. As you get older, like most people, if they don't have a lot of muscle and they fall over, break a hip, there's no coming back from that. But the more muscle you have, the more muscle you can retain.
Yeah,
is very important to like our good friend Dr. James says, be hard to kill. You're gonna be hard to kill.
Be hard to kill. Yeah. And I put a post up about this about a month ago, but to your point, I like in 2020, I really kind of started working out. 2022, I mean, I was getting better, but I put a post up. I think it was May of 2022. Yeah. through March of 2023, right? And so I actually weighed 120 pounds in May of 2022. March of 2024, I just put a picture. I'm 10 pounds heavier, but I look totally different because I have all this muscle. Like I have muscle like in places I've never had muscle. It's crazy. I look sometimes, I'm like, holy cow. I eat so much food. It's insane. People get mad at me. But I do because I am always hungry. Like last night, I'm not even going to tell you the amount of food that I crushed last night because I did legs and I was so hungry. And I track my food, like my macros. I eat at least 150 carbs a day. Some days I eat 200 carbs, depending on what I've lifted. I eat at least 130 grams of protein a day. I eat as much fat as I want. And I know you're not a huge, but I eat a ton of fat. I know you don't eat a ton of carbs, but I do, but they're good carbs. So I eat pretty much whatever I want. And that's kind of cool because I'm 38 years old and my whole life I was trying to I was the woman like every other woman, like you can't eat anything. You can't eat anything. You can't. I eat all the food, like whatever I want. And I love it because before I would have never done that because I have muscle. And like I wake up full disclosure, I ate about 80 carbs last night before I went to bed and like 50 grams of protein. I was just hungry, probably 30 grams of fat. I woke up at 4:00 this morning starving, like just insanely hungry.
It's I'm nuts. Telling you, like, the word dieting, like dieting sucks, right? But you don't have to diet if you lift weights and you eat clean whole foods like, eggs and beef and fish and whole foods, carbs. I have no problem with carbs. Look, I am known as the keto person. That's kind of like where my whole like fitness social media started, being like an OG keto person. But I'm again on back days and leg days. I have carbs pre-workout. That's what my coach has. So again, but it's all about, where I'm at today, right? Now that I have a lot of muscle, I'm no longer a type 2 diabetic. I'm no longer obese. I'm in great shape. My body can handle these carbs, no problem, right? But the old me, no. If I ate these carbs, my blood sugar would skyrocket, then come crashing down, and then I would feel like crap. So there's just, again, like I said, so many benefits from building muscle, and your body can handle these glucose, these carbs, no problem.
Well, and it's the type of carbs too, right? So you're not eating the same carbs you ate when you were 26.
Definitely
I'm not either. So I'm not eating, like I used to be the Starbucks junkie with all the sugar and, the chocolate and don't get me wrong, I'll have chocolate every now and then. I actually drink what you drink at Starbucks now but like, so now my carbs, like every day I eat 100 grams of blueberries. I eat 100 grams of raspberries, I eat 100 grams of apples. I usually eat about 50 grams of a banana. I eat 120 grams of a sweet potato. I eat black beans. I mean, those are my carbs. Like that, I eat cucumbers, celery, carrots every single day with hummus, my jam. So it's like the carbs you pick are different carbs. I love brown rice. I used to, oh my God. And when I was 30 years old, if you would have said, Cassie, you're going to eat brown rice when you're 38, I would have been like, yeah. And I will weigh 200 pounds. I eat all the brown rice, all the potato, but it's like good carbs. I don't eat processed crap. I don't eat sugar. I have, full disclosure, Hu chocolate. I don't know if you've heard of Hu. It's a vegan definitely. Chocolate. So I get the vegan dark chocolate bars and I allow myself 1 square a day if I want something sweet. So that's my, I get my 1 square. I'll pick when I want it in the day. But other than that, I'm pretty clean. And I eat a ton of like nuts, walnuts. I love pumpkin seeds.
Oh my God. Salty pumpkin seeds, like road trip. Like, that's my road trip shit right there. Cause and I like to just eat one. I like to just pick one at a time, one at a time. My hands will be like all salty and I'm licking them. Like I freaking love it.
Yep. My Redmond salt in a Ziploc bag.
You got to put the you got to use the Redmond salt for sure. 100%.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a good point. And I get that question a lot from women. Like, I can't eat those things, I'll gain weight, but it's like, you kind of got to retrain your body, right? To be able to, like, like you said, the frustrating thing I have with people in social media in the world and doctors and all these people that are in their lanes, like, oh, only keto, only this, only that. I mean, everyone's in a different place, right? So when you were 300 pounds, yes, you need to be eating keto. You have plenty of reserve. You have plenty of, but like if I eat keto, I don't feel well. That's just me. So everyone's different too, right? You have to kind of find what works with your body. But I think we're on the same page when we say, don't eat a bunch of
for
crap,
sure.
right?
And
like eat
I hate that.
food.
Like, right. Like, yeah, I'm again, Whole Foods. It's all about Whole Foods. And that I hate putting myself in a box, right? I hate putting myself in the keto box or a carnivore box or if it fits your macros.
Right.
I don't like that. At the end of the day, it's all about Whole Foods. Just eat clean Whole Foods. If you had to put me in a category, I'm meat based, right? Because there's always going to be our animal base. There's always going to be some type of animal base in every single one of my foods. No ands, ifs, or buts about it.
And that's great. I eat a lot of I eat a lot of animal stuff as well. I eat all of it. I'm not a huge pork fan. I just don't like it. But I eat a ton of. I mean, I've had ground beef today. I had chicken today. I've had salmon today. I had eggs today. When we're done, I'm probably gonna eat something else. Like, I mean, I eat all the meat. So I'm in the same boat as you. I don't really put myself in a box per se, because people ask me that, like, what diet do you follow? I follow the Whole Foods, lots of good fats, whatever Cassie wants to eat, as long as I'm not just going insane, right? Like, I try to kind of stick to a macro plan, but also, like, last night I was done with my macros and I was hungry. So I don't really deprive myself. I just eat good food.
Yeah. And again, when you people that are listening to this, like, when you eat clean Whole Foods, you can eat more of it. Like, isn't that beautiful? Like, there was this account on Instagram that was like, it would split up its counter and show you just like a meal from Chick-fil-A or whatever fast food place. It would be like a chicken sandwich, some fries, and a drink. And it would be like 1,300 calories. And then they'd bring out Whole Foods that equivalated to 1,300 calories. And it is a shitload of food. And you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah,
and you're like, do you see, people? Do you see when you eat cleaner Whole Foods, you actually get more? So just think, you don't even have to diet to lose. It won't even feel like dieting, because you're like, oh my God, like this is so much food. Like, I can't eat this much. Like, and it's like, yeah, do you see when you actually eat clean Whole Foods, how much food you get compared to when you go fast food, Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, whatever. I don't know. Like, I mean, those are really my two, I guess. I really don't do too much fast food, but if I do, it's always Chipotle, or in my hometown, a burrito place called Freebirds. That's like that's what I do if I am going to do a fast food. Gotta do a burrito.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so true. Like, when you do start cleaning up your diet and your body starts to heal itself, you just know, like, right. Like, when you're hungry, like, I can almost eat now, and when I'm full, I'm done eating. And if I measure it out, it's kind of in my macros where they've been. Like, it's like your body actually, you get signals from your body, like, hey, I'm full, or I'm not full. Or, women, I think women mess this up a lot too. We grew up thinking that fat is bad, right? They've been telling women forever, fat is bad, fat is bad, fat is bad. Fat is not bad. Women need good fat. They need fat to make hormones. They need fat to make cholesterol. You need a lot more fat at certain times of your cycle. And so there are days, Logan, where I'm like, I want all the peanut butter. I want all the nuts. I want the avocado. I want olive oil. I want salmon. There are days I eat 100, 120 grams of fat. Now, when I do that, I don't crave as many carbs, but I want all the fat. And I always eat my protein. Don't worry. Good. I'm on your protein. Like, I'm always eating 130 grams of protein, not negotiable at least. But if you kind of listen to your body, it will tell you what it needs. And then when you're full, you just stop eating. And it's so different than when I used to try to starve myself, and when I ate the crap, and when when you're on that 1,200 calorie diet. And it's very interesting. Like, your body will just tell you what it needs. You get to eat all that good, clean stuff. And like you said, I take my lunch to work, and I've put some pictures online, but my staff will come in my office and they're like, you're eating all that food? And I'm like, yeah. And I eat cucumbers and celery and carrots every day with hummus, and it's a lot, because it's not that many carbs. And I usually have some berries and some apples and some sort of yogurt and eggs. And I mean, it's all on my desk, and some sort of meat, sweet potatoes. And they're just like, you're going to eat all that? I'm
absolutely.
Like, yeah,
all of it.
Dogs. I'm hungry. And then I'm going to go home and eat some more. Okay, so perfect. I love that. So, and you're, you're a great example of this success journey that you've had. And I love that. So some of some of my followers, I kind of said, hey, I'm going to have this guy on. What questions do you want me to ask him? And so here's some of them. Some of them have said the best exercise for someone who's trying to control their weight, but they have a lot of fatigue. So I take care of a lot of women with like chronic fatigue syndrome, thyroid issues, but they're always tired. Now, I think I know you're probably on the same mindset as me. A lot of the reason these people have fatigue is from chronic inflammation from their insulin, from their diet, right?
Definitely.
But what is something that they can do as far as exercise, and what are your tips on, like, if you're just chronically tired, what are your tips on what somebody can do to kind of get some sort of exercise?
Yeah. So again, it's going to be different for everybody, but like you said, a lot of it is going to be from the foods that you eat, right? A great example is my mom. I'll go visit her sometimes, and she'll be on the couch, like she just looks like worn out. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what are you doing? Are you sick? She's like, oh no, my body's just aching. It's my and I'll feel her body, and it's so warm, so hot, right? And that's the inflammation, right? It's because, and look, I don't want to go back and forth, but I've told my mom how she needs to be eating, but we both know this. You can't want something more than someone else, right? They have to want it more, and they have to go do it themselves. You can't force feed them anything. So, but again, nutrition, sleep as well. People don't realize how much sleep impacts your blood sugar, your cravings, your energy levels, not getting enough sleep. And I'm talking good sleep, right? So what I always recommend is getting off your phone about an hour to 2 hours before your actual bedtime. Get off your phone, get off your computer, get off screen time, read a book, just maybe listen to some chill music so you can get some deep sleep is another big thing. But then also, when do you find that you have the most energy? Is that first thing in the morning? Is that midday? Is that at night? So like that conversation you and I had before the podcast started, is like you were saying, I don't know how you train at night. That's just when I have, I would say, the most energy. I already have 3 meals in my body, like I'm ready to go. In the morning I am like a slug, right? It takes me time to get up. I need my coffee, I need to do this. I cannot go train first thing in the morning. So finding what times works best for you, that's convenient, right? So that it's probably the best opportunity, because if you're not a morning person and I told you to go work out in the morning, guess what? You're going to hate it. It's not going to be sustainable, and you're not going to do it. So as far as exercising, that's just, going to go do cardio, going for a walk. And I'm not saying you need to go to a gym. Your gym could be your house. Find things, get creative, right? Pick up heavy things, do some push-ups, air squats, jumping jacks, mountain climbers, whatever you got to do. Most importantly, just get moving. Just get started, right? You don't need to go to a gym to exercise. If you do have one, great. You're just going to be further along than most people, but that shouldn't be an excuse. That should not be an excuse. So those are, I guess, my practical tips, because it's going to be different for everybody, right? It's chronic diseases and are going to affect people differently. But I think if you can take care of those 3 fundamentals, will really set you up for success.
I love that. So you're saying make sure that you find the time that you feel like you have the most energy. It's going to be different for everyone. Mine is at 5 a.m. Logan's is at 5:30 p.m. Different animals. Make sure that you're trying to sleep, eat some good nutritious foods, and then just do something. And I would add to that, do something, and then tomorrow just do one more of something. That's what I do. I try to just do one more. So, whenever I'm working out or whenever I'm doing whatever, I'll just say, like, okay, it's leg day. I have a love-hate relationship with legs. I mean, solid love-hate. And especially Bulgarian split squats. Oh my God. So good, so bad. But every time I do them, I'm like, okay, you're going to do one more. And then the whole time I'm doing them, I'm cussing in my head, and I'm like, I'm not going to do one more. And I always do one more. Or I'm going to do a little bit more weight, right? Because that's how you get you get better.
My leg day is mostly just hate. There's very little love, and mostly hate.
And I have, and I finally get to where I'm like on this routine and I'm like, okay, fine, I can do this. And then I'm like, okay, I got to switch it up. And I was right there last week. I had this routine I'm doing and I hate it, but I'm starting to see some changes that I want to see. And so I was talking to this trainer at the gym because there's one other change I want to see. Like I want to get that, that V in my quadricep at the bottom that you guys have that just like happens. Like my husband has, it's so annoying. And I'm like, I want to sort of see that. I don't know. I just do. And so I was talking to this trainer at the gym. So now he's got me doing squats on those. I got those blocks on Amazon that you stand on, what I'm talking about?
They're tilted.
Oh, so now I'm doing Smith machine squats on those and I'm doing Bulgarian, like deadlifts on those. And I'm doing all the things on those. And this morning or yesterday, Tuesday, I was like, I want to kill myself. Why did I do this? Like, but,
Love it.
So, okay. So I love that. So then my next question would be, I get this a lot. I only have 25 to 30 minutes. I can't work out.
More than enough time. That is plenty of time.
So what do I do?
So when you go into the gym, you need to have some structure, right? What are you training that day? Are you training upper body? Are you training lower body? Are you training back, arms, whatever you need to do, whatever you're doing, you're going in there determined. Get off your phone. I walk into my gym. Between every set, people are on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. You're going to need your phone for music. That's fine. Get in there, lift with a purpose, have a plan, and go in there and execute it. I promise you, 25 minutes is more than enough time. You can do drop sets. You can do supersets. As a matter of fact, I think that's better. Remember, I train bodybuilding, so that kicks my ass. Anything over like 10 reps is what we call a cardio. But I jokingly say that. But that's more than enough time. That's not an excuse. So you need to go in there already with a plan, knowing what you're going to do, and you can do drop sets and supersets. And 25 minutes is plenty of time. I promise you, it's plenty of time. If I went to the gym, so the way I go to the gym, I have a gym partner. That's another thing why I train at the certain time. So he has a 9 to 5. He can only lift when he gets off work. My gym partner, I've had him for probably 7 years. And most guys will understand this, bodybuilders. When you have a gym partner, they're like your second wife, right? He's like he's my therapist. He's my best friend. He's my gym partner. He's everything, right? And so we just have this very close relationship. And so we talk a lot, right? Because that's like our therapy says. We both work from home. We're both alone. So when we go to the gym, we're like, hey, what's up? What's going on? So, but if we go in there and we're just going to just like lift, not talk, which there are sometimes we do that. 35 minutes is plenty of time. Plenty. You get in there, you do your sets, next, do your sets, next, superset, boom, you're out. So please, everybody who's listening to this, 25 to 30 minutes is plenty of time.
So have a plan, do your sets, supersets. I'm a big fan of time under tension too. That'll kick your butt.
Yeah, you won't need a lot of reps if you do that. I promise you won't.
I can do 3 time under tension. Yep. You're good. So have a plan. Don't be on your phone goofing off. 25 minutes is plenty of time. And I will say too, like I have mornings where I only have 25 minutes and I can't even go to the gym. You can Google on your phone at home, high intensity, workout, or at home body weight workout. You can do squats, you can do burpees, you can do push-ups. I have kicked my own butt multiple times at my own house for 25 minutes. So, I would agree. So 25 minutes is plenty of time. It's better than nothing. So just do something. Now, I would say if there's any women out there in Oklahoma City that work out around the Nichols Hills area and want to be my gym partner, maybe I need a gym partner because I just go to the gym and don't talk to anybody. But that sounds nice, having like somebody to push you and,
push me and like it's like I'm telling you, like the gym, it's guys joke about this on Instagram. It's like it's our therapy. It's cheap therapy. Therapy is expensive, but this is like legit therapy for us. Like if you're angry, go take it out on the weights. If you're pissed off, you're mad, take it out on the weights. If you need to talk to I have a gym partner, so I'm lucky. If you do have a gym partner, great. If you don't, whatever. But yeah, we talk about everything, right? Issues, problems, life. It's just great. It's just a really great hour that I get to better my health and share my feelings. So yeah.
Yeah, because when you lift weights, you're releasing
Mhm.
dopamine, right? It's good for you. Myokines are being released, and so your mood's going to be better. And then when you're doing it with somebody else, you release oxytocin, which is the connection hormone. So that makes sense. I just, I go in the morning because, full disclosure, like, from the time I get home after the gym, because my husband is not a morning person like you. So from the time I get home, like, I'm spending a little bit of time with him getting ready for work. And then the second I walk in the door, it is nonstop. Just, I have patients, I
Yeah.
have staff, and then I come home and I have, like, it's my only
Yeah.
time, literally my only time where it's just me. But I will tell you, I have worked out a lot of my own problems. I've worked out a lot of my business problems. I've worked out a lot of my life problems
Yep.
at the gym, on the treadmill, or
Yep.
lifting weights, or so it's just a good time to, like, reflect and feel better. But then you're also doing things to make yourself look better and just to be healthy. So I
Yep.
do love that. But maybe I honestly have never worked out in the gym with a trainer. 100% full disclosure. I've had a trainer that's given me exercises, but when I first started working out, I was like, I didn't want anybody looking at me or, like, helping me or anything like that. And so I've never had a trainer. And so I've thought about it recently, like, maybe I should get a trainer, because I'm kind of to the point where I'm not making a ton
Yeah.
of progress and I want to make more muscle. So maybe that's something I'll think about. Maybe I should find a trainer, but I want to find a buff girl trainer.
Yeah, you gotta find someone you
Like,
connect
no
to.
offense
Like
to
you
you
got like
guys.
again, it's harder than I made it sound. Like finding a gym partner, like that's why
Yeah.
I've kept him for like we have switched multiple gyms. Like I found another gym and I was like, I'm gonna go try it out. And I tried it out and I liked them like, hey, you're now gonna come to this gym now. And he was like, all right, let's do it. So
We're still
yeah,
married.
it's like you're coming with me. Like if I yeah, so and there's another gym that's about to open up in the next couple of months. And I'm like, hey buddy, we're probably gonna be switching again. So yeah, anyways.
I love that.
Yeah.
The accountability part is good, though. I do like that. That's good. You need to find
Yeah.
someone. Okay, that's great. So here's another question. I have this question too. So people have a ton of questions about intermittent fasting and time restricted eating. Do you believe in that? Do you do that? Is there a certain time you think people should do that, like when they weigh 300 pounds versus now where you're
Yeah,
at?
it's
What are your thoughts
so
on
I'll
that?
give you my opinion because this is from me. This is an example, right? My personal experience. So I was huge on intermittent fasting. Huge. Go look at my YouTube videos, guys. I would minimum intermittent fast for 16 to 18 hours every single day. Now, if you go look at those videos, look how skinny I was. Right? Go look how thin
Mm-hmm.
I was. Now I was in great shape. Nothing. I think looked great. Not that much muscle, guys. Why? Because it was so hard to get enough protein in only a 6 hour span. Can't get all my macros in 6 hours. Couldn't do it. It was too hard. Now, did it work for me in the beginning? Absolutely. Did fasting help me? 100% it did. Do I fast now? Absolutely not. Was my focus different back then? Yeah. I need to get healthy. I was trying to survive. I was trying to make it for the next 10 years, right, of my life, not progressively, slowly kill myself. Now where I'm at now, lost all that weight, really want to focus on building muscle. I do not intermittent fast. Never ever, because I need to be getting in food. Like Cassie and I had just been talking about how much food we eat. How can you do that in a matter of 6 hours? It's a pain in the ass. And
Yeah.
you're not gonna be able to do it. It's not sustainable for me. I can't eat 200 grams of protein in a 6 hour eating window. I rather spread that to a 12 to 14 hour eating window. So, again, so I hope that I don't want to discourage people because it did help me get to where I'm at. It's just that I have different goals. Like your goals are going to change through your fitness journey, and where I'm at now just does not fit.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I like that. Everyone's in a different place. And so, a lot of, if you're very overweight, you're obese, you have type 2 diabetes, you have a lot of fat mass to lose, then I think intermittent fasting is amazing. I think trying to eat in a 6 hour window, if you can do it, is great. We know it lowers
Mm-hmm.
inflammation. There's a lot of great things about it. is it sustainable long term if you're thinner? I mean, I guess it's sustainable. There are tons of people, Dr. Mark Hyman talks about it all the time. He's very thin. He's very, so it's just kind of what you are trying to do. But I agree with you. I unintentionally intermittent fast a lot, because if I don't eat breakfast before I walk out the door and I get to clinic, then there are days it's 1, 2, 3 o'clock before I even go pee, let alone thinking about eating. And so that happened to me yesterday. But then it is so hard to get all your macros in. That's why, full disclosure, when I came home last night, I was like, because I ate at like 1 o'clock, and then I got a little snack in at 4, and then I had something to do till 6, and I ate at 6:30, and then at 9 I was still hungry. I mean, it's just, it's hard. And so I think it depends on what you're trying to do.
Like, hearing you say that, like, imagine someone who is, I don't know, like, just hearing you say that, like, it almost creates bad habits of coming home and just like raw binging, because you're raging, right?
It does.
And look, I don't know about you guys. I made a post about this not too long ago. When people justify having like, it's just one Snicker bars, it's just one piece of cake, it's just one beer, it's just one this. Like, can you have that and you be okay? During your weight loss journey, absolutely, you'll be okay. But let me tell you the reason why I can't do that. Because whenever I do have that one piece of cake, that one beer, that one candy, it sends a trigger to my brain that is uncontrollable. And what do you think I do? I only want more. And then I go in this rage, in this binge. So the example I want to use is, we brought home a big container, big container of fruit salad from Easter. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to have a little spoonful. It'll fit my plan. Like, it's just a spoonful. What do you think I did, guys? I ended up eating the entire container because I was raging. I could not stop. I wanted more. And so it goes back to, oh, wait, I can't have that one thing, because for me personally, I can't stop. I can't say no. I can't tell my brain to not do it. And sometimes I've talked about this before. It's like, when I share that fat picture of myself, that person is still inside me to this day. Those bad habits that he had is still inside me. Now, every day it's a battle, right? Every day it's a battle you're not coming back. Sure, I'm not going back to that lifestyle. But when I give it a little bit of a tease here and there, he comes back and he wants more. And so it's one of those things, like, just hearing you say that, like, it's kind of like, I gotta take a step back. Like, that's another reason why I can't fast like that. Cause you come home and you're like, whoa, I have like 1,000 macros left and it's already 8 o'clock. Like, I'm going to rage. Like, here we go. And then you just like justifying, you're just eating all this food because you're like, well, I didn't eat all day, so I'll be cool. And you just kind of creates these bad habits when, if you just space it out and ate real clean, smaller whole meals, you'd be in a much better place.
Yeah, in full disclosure, I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I'm going to tell you because I'm human like everyone else. I did that last night standing at a island, working on my computer, just shoveling food in my mouth. And I was like, when I thought about it after the fact and then talking to you about it, it's like, habits, right? I was not setting. I did not enjoy anything that went in my mouth. I'm not even sure I tasted it. And so, yeah, to your point, like, because I have some very bad habits too in my past. Sometimes they still come out. Peanut butter. Oh my God. If you left me in a dark room with a 5-gallon jug of peanut butter, I promise I could eat that whole thing. And so easy. Chocolate is the same way. Now I'm able though, Logan, to allow myself one square of that dark chocolate and I do okay. As long as I get that one. If I don't get that one though, it's like, I am like, I want to eat all the chocolate. I don't know. Maybe it's just like a wager I've made with myself. I don't know.
I do this like really, really toxic trait. And what I do is I have a very little of something multiple times. So
so a bite of it.
I do this all the time. It is one of my most toxic binge traits. I do this
love it.
all the
I
time. So
love
with
it.
peanut butter. So what I'll do, I'll get a little spoon, the 4 tips of the spoon. I dip it into the peanut butter. This is how crazy I am, guys. I'll dip it into the peanut butter and just get the little tips of the fork and lick it. And I'll do that multiple times. Like you said, standing up on an island,
love it.
watching YouTube videos, and I'm just dipping it into the peanut butter and just licking it. And by the time, holy shit, this peanut butter's like a quarter gone. But in my head, I'm like, well, I've only had a little bit. No. You probably had 2 servings over the course of you dipping it 100 times. I do this at restaurants when we go to Mexican restaurants here in Texas. I'm sure you get this in Oklahoma. They always give you tortilla chips, a big thing of tortilla chips while you wait for your food. What do you think I do, guys? I get one chip and I break it into about 4 pieces. And I have a little piece. I do that over the course of waiting for your food for about 20 minutes. How many chips do you think I had? Half of that container, half of that bowl. But in my head, I'm like, oh no, I only had a little bit because I had one and I broke it up into multiple pieces and only had a little bit. It's one of the most frustrating toxic traits I have, but I do this all the time. And that's what I say. It's those like moments, these uncontrollable moments. And I know I can't just have one chip. I know I can't just have one scoop of peanut butter. I know and it's just, it's and I share this story because I want people that are listening to this, if you deal with those same things, know that you're human. Like Cassie said, I'm human. I've been doing this for 12 years. I do this for a living. And even I still struggle to this day. It is still a battle. So I don't want you to feel alone. I don't want you to feel ashamed. It's just something that we are going to constantly battle for the rest of our lives, but it's okay because we're warriors and that's what we're going to do. I'm never going to go back to the old Logan. I'm never going back to him. I'm never going back to the way I ate, the way my life choices were. But it's okay to acknowledge and sometimes have those, moments of like, I couldn't contain him. He came out, but understanding that I'm going to keep fighting every day.
Yeah. And I think it's good to point out when you do that, maybe reflecting on that, because you really, like, I just sat here and had this whole moment talking to you, like reflecting on that last night. And was I hungry? Yes. But did I probably overeat because I didn't eat all day? Yes. And do I have those toxic traits with peanut butter? Yes. Did I have probably 4 scoops of peanut butter last night? Probably. And so, yes, I'm human too. And and I'm an endocrinologist who knows about hormones and metabolism. And I know better than that. And I tell people all day long to take care of themselves and to eat but I screw it up too. And so I think, when you do that, reflecting on it and realizing, okay, when I do that, look what happened. I didn't eat all day. I did not take the time to feed myself in the morning. And so then I ate all this food last night. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't even taste it. And then I ended up eating all this extra food. And then, And then I think probably what happened in my subconscious mind, the more I think about it while I'm talking to you, is I knew in my subconscious mind, wow, I did not take very good care of myself today. I didn't eat enough. And then now I've crammed all this food in my mouth and I probably didn't feel good about it. And so then I went into the pantry and got the peanut butter because that's my feel good food. Right. And I was like, well, I'm just going to eat a little bit of peanut butter. That'll make me feel better. And so I started eating the peanut butter. That's probably what happened. I'm actually really sure that's what happened because peanut butter is kind of my comfort thing now, right? Like peanut butter and chocolate. And I justify that in my head because you're right. Like I didn't eat that much all day and I worked out really hard and I still have my macros. And, I like to run this through my head too. I don't know if anyone else out there does this, but like I worked really hard today. I got up, I went to the gym. I had a really crappy day. I deserve some peanut butter. No, you don't, Cassie, get it together. Now I will say I'm very proud of myself because in 2020, after COVID, I think that I probably drank too much. I wasn't an alcoholic, but I was drinking almost every night, like a lot of you, right? We were having wine, and so I have stopped that. Like I figured out, I very rarely drink, which is my friends and everyone are like, what's wrong with you? I just figured out that I was doing that for bad reasons. Like that was my coping mechanism of I've had a stressful day. I've had so I don't do that anymore. So I'm very happy to tell you that the Cassie in 2020 last night, when I came home, opened a bottle of wine, drank it all, maybe opened another one. I didn't do that. But I did probably eat too much and maybe ate the peanut butter because of that. So Yeah. So thanks for my therapy session. You can send me the bill. But yeah, so I think, to your point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it more of a priority to make sure I eat something before I leave
Yeah,
my
you
house
got a
every
plan.
day. And then I think that will help. Yeah. Like to just make sure, even though I'm good about getting my food and knowing what macros I need and knowing what to get in, it's just getting them in
Yeah.
throughout the day. And I think, I have changed like you, I've lost a lot of fat mass. I've put on a lot of muscle. And so probably when I do not get nutrition like that, it's not good for me currently.
You're setting yourself
So,
up for failure. Like, so,
yeah. But yes, to your point, everyone that's listening,
we're
I'm
all human.
human. I should definitely know better, but I still mess up sometimes too. But the great thing is today was a new day and I did eat today pretty well. And I've already had like 4 meals. So, and I haven't had any peanut butter today. So I'm going to withhold from any peanut butter.
Nice.
Okay, perfect. I love that. Another question I had, somebody was asking about how you can cycle calories during the week, like cycle carbs pre and like what should you do with carbs pre and post workout? If you want to build muscle and then versus if you want to maintain muscle. Does that make sense? So can you
sure.
like,
And I can guarantee this probably came from a guy because this is the most common.
it was actually
it
a girl.
really?
It's actually a girl who's a nurse practitioner who follows me. She's fabulous. She does a lot of hormone stuff.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, ladies. I'm not. I say that because I get this question asked a lot by a lot of bros in my DMs. So
Okay.
cycling carbs, right? What they're essentially asking is like, hey, maybe I do a low carb diet, I do a ketogenic diet. When should I introduce carbs through the week? So I'm going to give you how I do it. And what I do is I have carbs on certain days of my workout, the intense days, the big muscle parts, right? So my back day is a day that I'm going to have carbs pre-workout. Leg day, going to have carbs pre-workout. Now, why am I having them pre-workout, right? Why don't I have them in the morning? Why am I not having them at night? Because the best time to have carbs, in my opinion, is before a workout or after a workout for recovery. So if I'm going to have carbs before my workout, well, guess what? I'm going to burn up through that glycogen in that workout. I'm going to use that energy from the carbohydrates and imply it into the workout. I'm going to get a bigger pump. I may even have a better workout because I'm going to have more energy, right? And so that's how I cycle carbs. Am I going to have carbs on my arm day, which is today? No, absolutely not. Because look at the muscle part. It's just this little tiny thing. It's nothing like your arm. It's nothing like your legs. And so that, in my opinion, I think is the best way to cycle carbs. So you're having, I guess you would say carb days, 2 days out of the week. You can pick what body parts you want. Again, for me, it's back and legs, and I have them before. You can do them after your workout for recovery, because when you have glucose and you're having carbs after a workout, they're going to get pushed where they need to go. They're going to get pushed right into your muscles, because that's where your body needs them. Go ahead.
So how long before you work out?
I'm having them about an hour and a half. So I have, again, and my meals are planned throughout the day. They're not always on the same time, but I have an 11 o'clock meal, I have a 1 o'clock meal, and then I have a 3:30 meal. I train at 5. And then I have whenever I get home, which is about a 7:15 meal, and then probably about a 10 o'clock meal. I say it pretty late. But that is kind of how my routine goes. Now, on the weekends, I don't train on the weekends. So that is I would say, a low calorie day, a low carb day. Just pretty much there's no carbs because I'm not doing anything crazy. I do a little bit of cardio in the morning, but that's about it. I don't do any resistance training. So my body is not needing any extra fuel.
So how many carbs do you have
I
before
have
you
anywhere,
have your, like how many before, how many after?
Yeah, I have anywhere from 60 to 70 grams of carbs pre and post.
And then throughout the rest of the day, you're very low carb, not a lot of carbs. Because I see the stuff you post. Okay. What about when you say no carbs on the weekend? Like, are you talking like under 30? Like ketosis range carbs?
About 30 to...
So you don't have any fruit?
I do have fruit. No, that's so on the weekends is the days I can have fruit. I don't know. It's weird. My coach set it up that way. So I stick with blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries are the 3 fruits that I can have.
Love it. So those are kind of where you get your carbs
on the
from.
weekends. I'm sorry if I'm sounding confusing. Most people are like, "This guy's crazy," but yeah. Mostly, I'll get my carbs from the fruits, or green beans. I mean, that's kind of like I'm a very lazy bodybuilder, guys. If you watch my meals, like I am not a I am not a I got called out last week because I'm a very I have no patience. I'm sorry. I have zero patience. So I can never cook these meals that take a long time. Like the air fryer is the greatest invention ever. I can throw chicken in there and walk away. I don't have to do anything. I just hear the beep, beep, beep. I'm like, hell yeah, it's time to eat. Let's go. And I'll just like open up a can of green beans, like throw some Kerrygold butter on there, throw some Redmond's roll salt, and that's a meal to me, right? And people are like, oh my God, dude, this is crazy. Like canned green beans. Like, are you a psychopath? I'm like, dude, I have no patience. Like it's quick, it's easy. So like when it comes to carb source, green beans. Oh, and I really just got really back into cauliflower rice because it kind of feels like a burrito bowl, right? Like little cauliflower rice at the bottom, a little cut up green beans, a little chicken, steak, whatever. And yeah, I'm kind of like been feeling that lately, but always going to keep the carbs around 30 to probably 30, under 50 every day, except for Mondays and Thursdays are my training.
Okay. And then that's when you're going to do 60 grams before you train and 60 grams after you train.
Yes. Yep.
And how long after you train? Is it like 90 minutes or is it just right when you're done?
As soon as I go home, let's go. If it was up to my coach, I would have the meal with me at the gym. That is what he does. So my coach actually trains at the same gym as I do. And as soon as he's done, he just goes and sits down. Because like I said, this is a bodybuilding gym. They have a little kitchen area where all the hardcore bodybuilders sit immediately after their. Me, again, I have no patience. And I need to do a better job. I really should have the meal ready to go after the workout, but I just drive home and then I cook it. So it's like 30 minutes.
How do you feel about protein bars? Do you ever do that or no?
No.
Real food or
again, if it calls for it, right? I mean, so I just had a protein bar on Saturday. It was my mom's birthday, and so we were out all day and we did like this 3-hour twisted paint. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's like where you saw it. Did you see that? Okay, yeah, good. Yeah. I did that. It was long. It was like 3 hours. I'm like, I brought no food. I'm like, I'm starving. And then we had immediately after that, we had a surprise birthday for her at my uncle's house. And I'm like, I need to eat something. And so I was driving, she was with me and we're driving. And I'm like, I saw this vitamin shop. I'm like, Mom, I'm going to do a little pit stop. And I went in there. I was like, give me your cleanest protein bar. I don't even know what they gave me. I really don't even know what they gave me because I needed something, right? I could not wait. I was like, 3 hours. I need something. I haven't eaten anything. And so, again, it goes to, if you need it, sure. Right. It's don't rely on them. Like I'm not buying boxes of protein bars because I want them here at the house. Like if I need it, I'll grab one. But it's not like a staple into my diet.
So I get made fun of by my husband and my friends a lot because I literally everywhere I go have a some sort of protein bar. I like the Paleo Valley bars though. They have some protein, but they have nuts and good fats. So I have one of those. And then I also love carnivore crisp. So I love carnivore crisp. So good. So I'll have like a pack of carnivore crisp and bars everywhere I go. So if I ever get in that situation, I'm locked and loaded. I have them in my gym bag. I have them in my car. I have them in my bag I take to work. Like when I travel.
No, I've seen your traveling bag. So it's insane. It's like, it's amazing.
Yeah. I'm not playing. I'm not playing because I'm not eating all that crap that they try to give you. So what would you recommend for somebody like me? I have women ask me this all the time, so I'm not a good example, obviously, but I wake up at about 5. I have some perfect aminos. I get my pre-workout in, kind of get my mind right. And then I'm at the gym hitting it by 5:30. I don't eat before. So whenever I do legs, you think I should get up at like 4 and
see,
eat something?
that's another
like,
thing that's again, I have this same dilemma with a lot.
Is that why I'm not getting my V in my leg? Is that why I'm not building my muscle?
It's like, look, I can't say that's why, but I can only speak from experience and from other people that are much more knowledgeable than me in the bodybuilding space, right? Most of the top bodybuilders that I talk to and know, they do not train unless they have food in them. They do not train fasted. Now, again, remember, these guys are psychopaths. These guys only care about being big, so they want to get as big as humanly possible. And they will not train fasted. Now, I'm not saying every bodybuilder does this. Okay, I know people, if people are like, I know this so bodybuilder who does it. Look, just the ones that I know, right? The ones that I interact with on a daily basis. If they do train at 5 in the morning, yes, they're having a meal before that. They're going to have their, their standard bodybuilding meal, which is like protein and oatmeal and rice cake or eggs, whatever they eat. But they're definitely eating before they train. They're not going in fasted. Unless they want to, unless their priority is to lose weight, which that is not what bodybuilders want. They just want to get.
Yeah. So maybe that's my problem. Because to your point, you said all these women don't want to lift heavy because they're afraid they're going to bulk up. So I've been trying to bulk up for 2 years, and I've put this on social media too. And my goal this year was to gain 10 pounds of muscle. And I've only gained about 2.5, maybe 3 in like 4 months. So I'm kind of sad because I've been trying very hard. So maybe that's part of my problem. Maybe I really do need to put now on the weekends. This is interesting. On the weekends, sometimes I will eat before I go lift because my husband and I will go together and he can't function before 9 o'clock in the gym. So I'll kind of like work in the morning, and sometimes I do eat and then I'll go. And to your point, I do feel like I work out a lot harder if I have a leg day. Like I'll have some oatmeal and some, fruit and maybe a protein shake, and I can just murder it. I mean, kill it. So I don't know, maybe I should think about that, like rearranging some of my workouts and I guess getting up at 4 and trying to get something in my belly before I can't.
I'm not a morning person, and I'm not one of those people that can eat first thing in the morning. Like I just cannot. So I mean, if you guys just heard, my first meal's not till 11. So I'm up by 7:30, and I'm not. That's not fasting, guys. That's 11 to it's not enough to be fasting, but I don't.
So what I'm hearing you say is my staff need to completely rearrange my day, and I need to be able to take lunch from about 11 to 1 so that I can go work out, and we just need to fix that.
I got in trouble at my last 9 to 5 job because my lunch, because the gym was a rock's throw away from my job, and I would go train during my lunch. And so my training sessions were, over an hour. And so I had to rearrange my schedule and go after 5 o'clock because people were like, I see his blue truck at the gym all day. Like, what's going on? Is he just rock?
Yeah. Well, I feel like maybe I need to start earlier, be able to take a nice long lunch and come back. That's
you should try it.
I mean, it's sounding like I need to change my day around.
Do an experiment on yourself and eat a good meal before the gym and see if you see any difference. See how big those quads get with some food in them before.
Okay. Full disclosure, I'm leaving on Saturday morning. My dad turned 70 and we're going to the Dominican Republic, and my sister's coming from Australia. I'm super excited. And so I have a week where I can just do what I want. So I think what I'm going to do when I'm there is I'm going to get up at 5 like I normally do. I'm going to work. So I get that out of the way so I can spend time with my family. And then I'm going to go have breakfast with them because they normally have breakfast about 8 or 9. And then I'm going to go to the gym right after that. And I'm going to see if it's only a week, but I'll see.
Do it.
Like, we'll see if I can get some, what's going on. So, okay. I love that. And then I guess if it works, then my staff are going to hate me because I'm going to be like, I need you to rearrange my life. And my schedule's booked for like 6 months, but we'll figure it out. Okay. So I have 3 questions I want to end with. I've loved talking with you. So much fun. But 3 questions that I kind of am going to ask all my guests. These are from patients. And so if there is only one food that you could consume to improve your health, what would it be?
It's going to be steak.
Okay. Why?
Dude, steak with some butter and salt. Hopefully I could still use butter and salt. Can I?
To improve your health. Improve your health. Did you hear that part?
I did. Steak is okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going with steak.
Sure.
Look, I'm going with steak. It's
Okay.
it's the
Okay.
it's the Mac Daddy. It's the food. It has everything in it, right? It has everything I need. Good amount of fats, good amount of protein. So that's it.
Okay. I love it. What's the one behavior or action that someone can do to improve their health? If you had to pick one thing somebody could do just to start making themselves healthier, what would it be?
Start thinking positively.
I love that.
Hands down.
It's so true.
Like, there's so many negative people in this world. So many people that wake up the first thing in the morning. They're like, oh, it sucks. Oh, this day. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, my back hurts. Oh, my leg hurts. Oh, this is like complain. That's how they start their day. And it drives me absolutely insane. The reason why is because there are people in this world who will never have the opportunity that you have to even get out of bed, right? There's people in this world who don't have legs or are handicapped who would do anything just to live one day that you take for granted. So changing your mindset and being positive will change everything in life.
So that just gave me goosebumps because I promise you. So we're recording this, you guys, like 6 o'clock at night on a Wednesday. My last patient today, my 4 o'clock patient, I've seen him for a long time. He has diabetes. He's on dialysis. He's kind of deteriorated. He's got a catheter. He's not in great shape, but he still walks. He still talks. He still has his brain. And he kind of went into this thing with me today, right before I left, about how he's miserable and he has thought about, hurting himself and yada, 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 because he's so sick. And exactly what I said to him, Logan. I said, I don't understand what you're going through, because I don't. I sympathize with you. But what I can tell you is that you get to make the choice every single morning when you wake up, whether you're going to have a good day or not. And so you get to decide as soon as your eyes open that you are alive, that you're breathing, that you have food, you have shelter, you have people who love you. You can actually get up and walk. Although I understand you can't urinate and you have a catheter and you're mad about that. You can move. And that's exactly what I told him. I said, there are people who are alive, but they can't move. And so we had that conversation. And I said, so what I really want you to work on is your mindset, because your mindset, I posted this yesterday, mindset is an attitude. Like that was my quote of the day. Because I, full disclosure, have had a really rough couple of months too. I hope nobody can tell through social media, but every single morning I've made it my goal as soon as I wake up to think about all the positive things and to get my mind right. And as long as you do that, no matter what's going on, I think I've done really well with all the things that have been going on. And so it's about a mindset. I think that's so true. I love that. That's the best answer. So what is one thing you wish you would have known about your health 15 years ago?
Oh, man, that is it's a good question. Okay, this is the first thing that came to my mind, so I'm going to go with it. So I wish I would have known 15 years ago that not having a thyroid was not the main issue on why I was at in life, right? So let me try to rephrase that. I used to blame that I did not have a thyroid on everything. Oh, it's not fair that so-and-so has muscles and he can lose weight and he could do this and he has so much energy and he can work out. I could be like him. I could do that if I had a thyroid that worked. So for those of you who don't know, I did have my thyroid removed in 2005. So I was 18 years old and I blamed it for everything. Why I was overweight, why I was not being able to build muscle and blah, blah, blah. Never once considering, oh, maybe it was my lifestyle. Maybe it was because the way I was eating and drinking and staying up and eating fast food and doing all these negative things to my body. I wish I would have known that sooner, because once I found that out, springboarded my my fitness journey.
Yeah, I love that. So I think you and I have talked about this before, but it's just making sure that we don't use diagnoses that were given as excuses.
And I did it for years.
Is that what what I'm hearing? Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Okay. Well, Thank you so much for coming to talk with me. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that I'm cutting into your partner, bro.
No, it's all it's all good.
But I know that I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I feel like I got a therapy session. I'm sure that my listeners will enjoy it. And so I really appreciate you. I'm going to link all of Logan's stuff in the show notes. So I'm going to link to his BioCoach and all of his Instagram, Facebook, all of his social media. So if you don't follow him, you should, because he does amazing posts and he does really good stuff with glucose and he has great information. And then you should also check out BioCoach. I know all my patients know about BioCoach, but you should definitely check it out. They have great options to help you if you're wanting to lose weight, right? You have great coaching. I've got a ton of good feedback. And I know they're working on something exciting. I don't think I can say anything about it, but I'm excited for something they're working on too that you told me about. So I'm hoping to help you promote that at some point soon.
That's a little bit further down the road. We've realized it's a lot of, like everything, right? Everything worth having. It's a lot of work. But exciting news is we have our BioCoach version 2 very close. It is coming soon. It's actually only available to our staff members because we are alpha testing it right now. It looks amazing. It's like we're just getting a little couple of bugs here and there, but super excited to launch that. And again, if you or anybody that you know that is struggling with type 2 diabetes, obesity, PCOS, chronic diseases, check out BioCoach. That is what we were born to do. We're here to help people reverse these chronic diseases through lifestyle changes, through coaching, through nutrition. And we walk with you every step of the way through our coaching on our apps. We have some amazing coaches that's being led by our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Jamie Seaman. I know, Dr. Cassie, you know her very well. And we have some super exciting stuff. And I cannot wait for you guys to see version 2. And I think it's going to help a lot of people. It's going to help a lot of people like my mother, my aunt, my uncle, who truly need the help.
Yeah, and need accountability. Yes. So for sure, check it out. Okay, well, thank you.
Yep.
Join us next time, next Monday, for the next episode of Back to the Basics.
Thank you, guys.
The information presented, including any materials discussed, referenced, or linked within this podcast, are for general educational purposes only, not the practice of medicine. No doctor-patient relationship is formed from you listening to this podcast or utilizing any of the information provided. I am a doctor, but I am not talking to you as your doctor. The information provided is not intended to diagnose or treat health problems, or take the place of the professional medical care provided by your doctor. If you are experiencing any health problems, including problems you believe have been touched upon in any respect within this podcast, you should consult your doctor about the problems without delay. You may ask your doctor whether he or she believes the information I have provided would be helpful to you, but you should still consult your doctor immediately and follow his or her medical advice as your treating physician. I'm just here to provide you basic knowledge about the issues we discuss so you are more aware of them and can better discuss them with your doctor. That's why we call it Back to the Basics. Join me on the next episode as we continue our journey.